If you've got an athlete who is struggling to make mechanical changes, then this is a video I want to share with you about something that I call the mobility versus stability matrix. So over on the left scale, we have mobility. Oh, that is horrible writing. That's supposed to be an M, mobility. Okay, and then across the bottom, we have stability. I can spell and write at the same time. So in the lower left, what we typically see are athletes like this. They're usually like catchers or first basemen that tend to be overweight. So these are like the fat, unathletic kids that because of the extra weight on their bodies, they've optimized for not moving very much, and so they will have pelvises that tip forward. Because they're heavier, they don't need to bend their legs as much, so they haven't developed the right hip mobility and ankle mobility. And so because they have lived like this, and I won't, no judgment for them, lots of reasons, but because they've lived like this, they've trained their bodies to move with like different movement patterns than some of the other ones. And so if we want to help fix this athlete, we usually end up having to do a lot of lower half mobility, stability work. So that's like what one of these looks like, okay? Now, the other one is a very mobile athlete, but they lack stability. So think here like Gumby, and I'm a horrible artist, and I think Gumby's in green, not blue, but I didn't have a green marker. So think Gumby, right? Like everything is loosey-goosey. So when these kids try to swing, it's like everything is loose, all the arms, like nothing's tight. So if we're gonna help this hitter, we have to do very, very different drills, very, very different things to help them fix the things that are in their way than we have to do for the things that Gumby needs. Gumby needs like a lot of stability work. The heavy catcher, he needs a lot of other things, okay? So those are those two examples. Then we come over here to the lower right. What does it look like if you have a lot of stability and no mobility? Well, those are the stick guys. These are your gym bros, right? So these are the guys with all the big muscles, right? So I'm a horrible drawer, but these are the guys with all the big muscles. And they're like, and they're super strong, but there's no mobility, and so they look like they could rip the roof off a house, but they're too stiff, okay? So they can't. These guys have all of the stability they need, but they lack the mobility. So when they go to throw, like they don't have a loose looking arm. When they go to hit, their back is stiff and it comes in and out of the zone. They can't keep it going there. So they need different kinds of work. And then in the upper right, you have things like, Mike Trout, freak athletes, or name, whatever other athlete that you want to say that's like, oh my gosh, you're super strong, but you're also super flexible, you're mobile, like all of these kinds of guys, right? So these are the four different types of people that end up being created based off of the amount of mobility or stability that they have. And so when you're designing a program for whether it's a kid or it's for a high school athlete, what we do is we run those kids first through a mobility stability screen so that we can see what's wrong with their swing. What we usually find is that the mechanics that all of their coaches are trying to get them, hey, just do this or don't do that, they're not able to do them because they've got a mobility or a stability issue. So hopefully this kind of like sets the frame for you so you understand what you need to be doing, and you can go look further into like if you need to be doing some mobility or stability work with your athlete to help them do this. If you would like us to do this for you, that is something that we do remotely. Drop me a comment. I can send you more information about that if that's something that you would like us to do. But that is the mobility stability matrix. Make sure you're paying attention to it, guys, when you're designing your hitting program.